Baylor is the only team in America right now that is ranked in the top 10 of adjusted offensive efficiency and adjusted defensive efficiency on KenPom. Do they belong in that Purdue, Duke, Gonzaga, best team in college basketball conversation? Fanta, I'm going to you first.
No question about it. Absolutely. And beyond the metrics, they have the best culture in college basketball, if not the second best. They're interchangeable. They defend you the length of the floor. They rebound the basketball. I love the height that they have. And I think that for this Baylor team, to your point about, I think people would be able to insinuate that defensively they'd be near the top of the country. I don't know if I would have said offensively they'd be in this category, but you know what? They are. They are because they've got multiple guards who can make things happen. They've got terrific length. The Bears are a team that needs to be in the conversation. They're the best team in the Big 12 conference, in my opinion.
The crazy part about this whole thing is they won the national championship last year and they got more athletic in the offseason. Mm-hmm. with Sochan and Kendall Brown. And they're terrific. And here's your stat. And we knew they were going to be great defensively because they have so much length around the perimeter. And Shamwa Chachwa coming off the bench and Floyd Thamba protecting around the rim. But with those two freshmen and some of their guards, LJ Cryer has been terrific. Here's your stat, though. Coming into the season, I was worried, how are they going to replicate Davion Mitchell and Jared Butler? Because they combined for so many assists last year. Last year's team averaged 16.9 assists per game. This year, through 8-9 games, this team's averaging 18.9 assists per game. What does that tell you? That ball's still moving. It's still popping. And James Akinjo, you call it, Rob, this was your guy. This was your All-American guy. He hadn't scored enough to be really an All-American, but assist-wise, he's been really good, 6.1 per game. This is a really good team. They're unselfish. Do they shoot it as well as last year's team? Nope. But, buddy, do they guard even better than last year's team because of all that length? So, yes, I would say they are a national title contender.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would quite put them in the conversation for best team in college basketball yet. And the reason I say that is that we haven't seen them. I think we'll learn a lot more after the Villanova game. I think that they're very, very good. I think that they're probably top 5. I think that you're right, Finn, in saying that they are the best team in the Big 12. And I love the makeup. They have 3 great guards, right? They have 3 really athletic wings. They have 2 big guys. And every person at each one of those position spots does something a little bit different. So they can give you so many different looks, so many different ways they can play, so much lineup versatility. If you want to go big, you can play those 3 wings together, right? You want to go small, you can even slide Kendall Brown to the 5 if you had to. They can do a lot of different things with that roster. But we've seen Purdue go out and beat a Villanova team, right? We've seen UCLA go out and prove it. We've seen Duke go out and prove it against a team like Gonzaga. So as good as Stanford and Arizona State and VCU probably could end up being this year, as much respect as I have for a Michigan State program coached by Tom Izzo, kind of need to see them do it against someone that is at that elite level before I go and say, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Can I ask you a question? Gonzaga hasn't been able to do it. I mean, I think there was a big hole with Gonzaga struggling with big athletes. We saw it against Alabama. We saw it against Duke. That front court, even though they're good, they struggled with big athletes. So are we still considering Gonzaga a national title contender?
Well, probably, but I think Baylor's there. But for me, it's Purdue's the best team in college basketball, and then it's everybody else. I'm still at that point. All right, that's a
masculine alarm.
Yeah, that's sad.
Best team on their best day.
That's right.
It's a big thing. Yeah, I think Purdue, to your point, briefly, best team, best makeup. It's hard to argue that they're not number 1. They are number 1.